What would you do if your kids were hostage? And I think this is a valid question for any woman or any mother that is protesting against Israel.
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's a solid question. Do you have children? Okay, you hate Israel? Fine. If you were in a kibbutz and you were working with Gazans because you hate Israel so much, you're trying to help all the Gazans, like Vivian Silver, what would you do when your kids were kidnapped? You know? Just want to know what you would do so I could take that into consideration when I become a parent. You know what I mean? And just, you know, like it's a serious thing, but it's also like kind of crazy. Like the other day.
And how'd you respond?
She goes, I would do everything in my power to get them back.
Right.
Say it without saying it.
Right,
I don't have to say it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I asked a woman the other day, and I know I'll put this video out. She goes, she had a sign that said, 4,000 Palestinians were killed, and then she had to update it to 9,000, and then she updated it to 17,000. I said, this is horrible. And she goes, she goes, yeah, what about the American kids and the Palestinian kids? I said, yeah, I saved the kids. What about the Israeli kids? And she goes, what about them? Say something without saying it.
Right.
You know?
What was she saying about the American kids? I didn't follow that.
Well, she's just getting worked up. I don't know. I don't even release the video yet. But I was filming the other day, and I thought, what about the Israeli kids? You know what I mean? So
right, like her response of what about him? She like kind of showed her.
Yeah.
Right, discard like they don't matter.
Now you asked me a similar question. I got Reform Jews and conservative Jews, and what about the Orthodox Jews? What about them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They're not Jewish. You know what I mean? But could you live that throughout the whole, the whole thing? I mean, I went with, I brought a Holocaust survivor on Holocaust Remembrance Day to a rally. And I said, I think this would be positive for you to meet somebody. He didn't really want to do it, and I forced him to do it because I think it's important. And we just live in a world where.
So to meet someone at a Palestinian rally.
Yeah, I think people.
Okay, and what happened with that? Yeah, that's interesting.
We met the Neturei Karta.
Who's Terry Carter?
Who's Terry Carter? I don't know.
Sorry.
The Neturei, is it Neturei Karta? Neturei Karta?
Oh,
How do you pronounce it? Neturei Karta.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the anti-Zionist
right.
Jews.
Yes.
Fringe group.
I don't know why I
But who's Terry? That's funny.
Yeah, the way you pronounce it, just I lost the Neturei Karta.
Neturei Karta, yeah.
Okay, so you met some of the guys from this group.
Yes.
So these are the ultra-Orthodox anti-Zionist.
Yes, anti-Israel. Let's not say even anti-Israel. Because I would say Satmar is also anti-Zionist, but they don't agree with. They think Neturei Karta is crazy.
Right, exactly.
They're just anti-Zionist because of their religion. That's why they say Eretz Yisrael instead of Israel, and
Right, but they'll live in Israel. And
they live in Israel and stuff like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they just don't agree with the secular leadership of Israel.
Yes.
Right, Neturei Karta.
Neturei Karta wants everything disbanded. I mean, that's the thing. They're meeting with Iran and the leaders of Iran.
I know. I wonder what these guys want every Jew to die. I'm not sure of their
exactly
their position.
So just setting that up, like I'm just trying to see. Like there's not even much video of them at all.
She said you filmed something with them, or you meeting them?
And the guy, I mean, that I don't really know what will happen of that, but like. There needs to be moving forward. There's a very Israel economy. There's a Palestine economy, right? Especially in the terms of media, right wing, left wing, centrist, etc. Right? There's no coexistence economy. And the thing is, as a musician and a comic and someone who's been rejected time and time and time and time again. I mean, I get no's most of the day, and. What does it look like if we actually live together? And I spoke earlier before, we were like, well, that's not profitable. It's not enough clicks. There's no clicks. If we all got together and got along, there's no clicks in that. There's no meat, you know what I mean? There's no divisiveness. If there's no divisiveness, how are you going to make money? And people love to be divided, right? And just even our own. We like to be with our own crew. Like we have
so you don't feel like there's enough people who agree with that? Who agree with coexistence?
there's
I think people have lost hope. I mean, there were many people who.
yeah. I mean, literally,
Like, I'd love to sit down.
Israel's national anthem is Hatikva, the hope.
Right, exactly. But the hope of what. But I'd love to sit down with, let's say, a lot of these people who, October 7th, who were in those kibbutzim, which were very left wing, and pro. Like a lot of them had Gazans work in their home, et cetera, like you mentioned. And has their hope shifted in that way? Meaning, did what happened change their mind? Do you know the answer to?
No, it definitely did, because I have tons of liberal friends in Israel that have been marching against Netanyahu for nearly a year. And people in America think that's deranged, that they're not. In fact, they wouldn't even know other leaders that are even eligible for a victory in other political parties of Israel. They are like, think they care about the government, but they really don't know much about the government. I mean, to name all the political candidates and parties of Israel that could be, a leader, everyone would have the same stance for Israel, like defend Israel.